Good day, Father Matt Williams here in my parked car. I hope you're well. All right, we're on Book 2, Chapter 4, and the title of this section is called A Pure Mind and a Simple Intention. He begins, with two wings, a man is lifted up above earthly things. Okay, so two wings, think of like an eagle, right? Two wings, you can't have one wing, you need both. One wing, you need both, right? So the eagle soars on two wings, right? To lift us up above earthly things, so that way we're focused on heavenly things. Because remember, you're created for eternity. We're created to live for heaven. What are those two things? He says simplicity and purity. Simplicity and purity are the two wings. Simplicity must be in the intentions. Purity in the affection. So simplicity in the intentions. In other words, that every day my intention is to glorify God. My intention is to keep my eyes fixed on Jesus. That's my intention. That's the simplicity, like glorifying God. And you can ask yourself, in everything you do today, is this glorifying God? And if it's not, ask God the grace to like turn it into something that can, or to turn away from it. And then purity in the affection. That's our heart, right? Having purity, that means to be free from, liberated from that which could corrupt us, that which could taint us from evil, so that our hearts are pure, right? Jesus says, blessed are the pure of heart, for they will see God, right? That our hearts would be pure, that our hearts would be innocent and blameless in the sight of the Lord, not seeking sin, selfishness, or to use someone or degrade someone, or vengeance, or all the capital sins, but our hearts would be pure before the Lord, that our hearts would seek to glorify God, that we would not seek to possess others, but rather seek to be a gift of self to others. Possessing for selfish means versus a gift of self in service to the other, as Jesus was. He says simplicity aims at God, and then purity takes hold of him and tastes him. And he goes on to say in all these things, just to kind of summarize, that the more that if we're seeking to live simply and purely, we're going to live peacefully. We're not going to get caught up in vengeance or in judging others. We're going to be focused on those which is most important, and in glorifying God with our lives. Simplicity and purity. These are beautiful, beautiful virtues to pursue. The enemy of that could be lukewarmness. He says that when a man begins to grow lukewarm, that's neither hot nor cold, right? That's mean like we're kind of getting lazy in our prayer, lazy in virtue, lazy in how we're supposed to live, and maybe starting to let sin creep in, right? If we begin to grow lukewarm, we become afraid of a little labor, and willingly takes external comfort. In other words, we're going to start counting the cost, and we're not going to do all for Jesus. We're going to start like saying, well, you didn't have to do that. He didn't do this, so why do I have to do this? And we start counting the cost, but instead of like embracing all for the glory of God, right? We willingly take external comforts. In other words, we're going to find other means to satisfy our hungry heart. But like if we're living simply and purely, right? If we're doing that, we're not going to grow lukewarm, but rather we're going to be on fire for the Lord. And this is his other example. He says, as an iron is put into the fire and it loses its rust and becomes all glowing, so a man that turns himself wholly to God puts off his sluggishness and is changed into a new man. And so we want to be on fire. We want to be like that iron that catches fire in the fire and starts glowing and burns away the impurities. And the way to do that is by immersing ourselves in the Lord and recommitting ourselves to simplicity and purity. May these two wings, right, of the Christian life, which keep us overly focusing inordinately on earthly things, but keep us focused on heaven, may those guide us today and help us to soar to the heights where Jesus and the Father and the Holy Spirit are, communion with the Blessed Trinity. God bless you.